You know, there's a Mishnah that talks about somebody who has Tzora'as. Tzora'as is a difficult idea to explain, but it's a disease that existed in biblical times. They call it leprosy. It's not really leprosy, but at any rate, a person who has this condition, if they are in a home, it defiles everything in the home. It defiles the home and everything in it. So the question is, what happens if this person who has this condition called Tzora'as enters his neighbor's home, okay, and the neighbor didn't give permission? So can he, against the will of the neighbor, defile the neighbor's home by coming in, uninvited? And the answer is no, but that's if he's truly uninvited. If he stays there and nobody kicks him out, then he's implicitly considered invited, or at least tolerated, and then the impurity takes hold in the entire house. So the owner of the home has to kick him out. He has to say, get out of here, you're impure. How long does he have to kick him out? Like an hour? No, a very short amount of time. The Mishnah says the amount of time it takes to light a Shabbos candle. Very interesting. The amount of time it takes to light a Shabbos candle. It's a very interesting way of quantifying time. I mean, first of all, it's not something that happens often in the home. It only happens once a week, right? So it's not like a regular occurrence in the home. So the Rebbe explains a deeper meaning to this Mishnah, which is just so powerful and beautiful. What is Tzora'as? So I was saying before, it's this, disease that causes impurity, but we also know that it comes about because of fractured relationships. One of the causes why a person is punished with Tzora'as is because he speaks Lashon Hara. He speaks divisive speech that breaks ties between friends and between spouses and siblings. So Tzora'as is a punishment for causing division in relationships. That's why also midah keneged midah, measure for measure, the rehabilitation of the person who has Tzora'as is to be quarantined, to be isolated. He has to sit outside of the community during his rehabilitation period and be by himself. And because he caused people to separate from each other, so his rehabilitation is to be separated temporarily before he can then become reintegrated into the community. So Tzora'as really is the spiritual impurity that comes about because of broken relationships. Or another way you could say it is the negative energy of isolation. It is the negative energy that causes people to be lonely. That is what Tzora'as is. So if you understand it that way, you can read the Mishnah in another way. How do you ward off, how do you banish the negative energy of isolation and loneliness from the home? By lighting a Shabbos candle. That's how we read the Mishnah. That by lighting the Shabbos candle, we ward off the spirit of isolation and loneliness. We live in a time today when everybody is lonely. People live under one roof and they don't know each other. They pass each other in the hallway while they're looking into their smartphones. I heard a comedian say, in today's day and age, if you want to call a family meeting, you know what you do? You want the whole family to show up? You go to the room where the router is, where the Wi-Fi router is, you pull the plug, you stand there and you wait, and in a few minutes you'll have the entire family standing there. You have a family meeting. So we're living in this time of like this isolation, this loneliness crisis, where people are living under one roof and they're lonely. They don't know each other. So what is the cure for this loneliness epidemic? You light the Shabbos candle. The Shabbos candle banishes the spirit of impurity, the negative spiritual force of separation and loneliness and isolation. Quite literally, when the Shabbos candle is lit and the family is able to sit there, for at least a few minutes, they see each other. They actually see each other. So I was saying before, the light of the Shabbos candle doesn't just allow you to see what you have, it allows you to see who you have in your life. When the Shabbos candles are lit and the family gathers around and they have that family time, all of a sudden we see each other. You're sitting across the table from someone, and you don't have the advantage or the disadvantage, as it were, of looking into this piece of plastic, this smartphone, and ignoring the person any longer. The Shabbos candles, more than ever in our day and age, are absolutely a necessity to call the family together and have an opportunity to actually see the people in your life. Who are these people who live under the same roof with you? And it has this incredible power of bringing us together.